Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining in. Operation cancellation is a global problem faced by many elective care providers. There's very little known about on-the-day cancellation rates in NHS English NHS Trust. NHS figures claim that the cancellation rates are low as 1%, but researchers and clinicians suggest that cancellation rates are significantly high. This presentation um, aimed to highlight on-the-day surgery cancellation rates in English University hospitals and um, highlight the limitations of the National Cancellation Performance Indicator used in English NHS and how to improve it. Going through a surgery is a very anxious and a very vulnerable experience. Imagine that the patient waited for weeks, sometimes months, um, and the surgery got cancelled on the day of the admission or on the day of the operation. In England, 2017-18, we know around 85,000 patients face this unfortunate incident, and some multiple times. This may have influence in patient safety, as well as we very clearly know that surgery cancellation create problems for operating theatre efficiency and overall organization efficiency. Despite the high number of surgery cancellations in England, it is very little known about uh, what causes these cancellations or the cancellation rates. In English NHS 2018, Wong and colleagues published a UK-wide study and identified 13.9% patient attending inpatient surgery get cancelled on the day. The NHS England dispute this figure and said only 1%, 1 in 100 patients get cancelled. This study aimed to understand the real cancellation rates, surgery cancellation rates in English university hospitals. The scope of our multi-center study is surgery cancellations at on-the-day surgery cancellation at university NHS hospitals who completed more than 70,000 elective care procedures per year. To deliver a surgery involved number of weeks of care planning and coordination interventions by healthcare workers from many disciplines. Some scheduled surgery can be delivered outside the operating theatre. However, this study focused on the surgery or operations completed in operating theatres. To encourage the participation, all the participant trusts were given the assurance of the anonymity of the data. It took nearly 6 months to validate the data working with the NHS Trust. Um, as you can see in the slide, the on-the-day cancellation rates vary from 11, 12, and 14% in the three NHS Trust. The estimated income losses due to the OTDS cancellation is around 6.5 million for Trust A and B, and um, these high rates of cancellation highlight a significant problem in NHS. The most common reason for OTDS cancellations in England appear to be patient unfit for surgery, which varies from 30 to 38.5% in among the cancellations. This is a surprise. However, the other Wong et al. Paper was published in 2018, which I mentioned earlier, also found a similar similar pattern, around 30% of patients unfit for surgery during this time. Um, and I think it's worth mentioning during 2017-18, English NHS was under significant pressure from very high emergency demand and due to financial austerity measures. One would hope to see a very high post-operative cancellations due to post-operative and other resource-related issues. But it appears to what we see here is appears to be a significant problem in care planning. In this slide, I am hoping to describe what is the difference uh, between a difference in OTDS surgery cancellations using data from one NHS trust who participate in the study. The NHS hospital reason for cancellation figure and the surgery cancellation figure um, only differ from 170 cancellations. But the NHS figure used a very high number to calculate the very high figure to calculate the surgery cancellation rate. This figure appears to be similar to first consultant episode and gives a very low cancellation rate and suggests a very cancellation is an insignificant problem in um, in an English NHS trust. Um, However, the reality is very far from it. If you divide the surgery cancellations by the number of surgery completed for the hospital reasons, you can get around 4%, which is 4 times higher. But if you consider overall surgery cancellations and divide the figure by number of surgery completed, it gives around 11%, which highlight a significant problem in NHS. The scope of the NHS performance indicator is limited to non-clinical or hospital reasons. Um, there are some obvious reasons such as bed or theatre time availability, but some reasons are not clear whether they are surgery cancellation due to hospital reasons or clinical reasons. We could not find any trust identify care planning or coordinating problems in their um, cancellation reasons. Um, it is possible that high cancellations due to non clinical reasons or clinical reasons may link to care planning and preoperative failures. The other reason is there's a difference between the visible reasons that initiated cancellation reasons and the real causes of cancellations. Therefore, there are bound to be uh, some kind of a bias or subjectivity around the categorization of cancellations by the hospitals. Considering surgery cancellation can create significant income loss and waste and significant negative impact to the patients, the reasons used to report surgery cancellations are very basic, and cancellation reasons vary considerably between NHS trust, which creates many limitations to the national indicator. However, one of the biggest problems of the national performance indicator for surgery cancellation was it is a figure, just a figure, like, but which is not a percentage or rate. This creates lots of um, misleading interpretations. Our data from the study, as well as the recently published paper by Wong et al., Wong and colleagues, as well as the national figures suggest surgery cancellation is a significant problem in national English NHS. It's very important that right performance indicators used with the right level of um, uh, clear indications. The performance indicator can be simple as number of surgery cancelled on the day of the surgery divided by number of scheduled surgery. Um, and this need to be it's important to have overall cancellation rates as well as the categorization supported by explicit guidance. Similar kind of guidance is used by Scottish NHS, so that's always easy to adapt. Surgery cancellation is a multifactorial problem that can be considered as a manifestation of system failures. Um, the NHS trustees need to invest more time and energy to understand these system failures, so then they can understand the causes and contributing factors to prevent surgery cancellations. What we see is this is a very local, the lots of local context appears to be um, embedded in these contributing factors. The other main thing is there's a very little research has been done in surgery cancellations. One of the problems the research community faces is getting the data. The surgery cancellation data as well as completed surgeries can be available via his system to provide opportunity to study surgery cancellations. Finally, NHS need to be transparent about surgery cancellations. It appears very clearly a national problem. Um, Although performance monitoring helps to understand uh, various local and national trends of surgery cancellations, we need to shift to a learning and improvement approaches to reduce surgery cancellations. Thank you very much.